G'day guys and gal, after almost 2 years of non-stop work and a lot of resin, we've finally done it. We're bringing back the Big E, the most popular major mini to ever exist. And in my opinion, the coolest mini on the planet. But we aren't just bringing him back, he's better than ever, with new quality of life improvements, details, and even 3 new head variants. But before you click off this video because you think it's some kind of glorified ad, hear me out. We've done something really special with this model, such as an incredible Mount Ararat diorama. So even if you don't want to buy the Big E model, there's no harm in checking this out because I promise it'll be worth it. And I'm also even announcing the largest ever cash prize pool for a painting competition as well. There is so much shit to nerd out in this video, I'm so excited to share it. Where to start? The original Big E model was first modeled by Art Canham, and as soon as I stumbled on it, I knew it was something special. I immediately offered him a shitload of money to buy the exclusive rights to the model, then spent almost a year testing and editing it with my Major Minis team since the model wasn't originally optimized for print and had a lot of issues. Now something that makes me laugh is when the people who bought the original files, before I spent ages cleaning it up and fixing it and making it printable with Art Canham, they're often like, "Ha, suck shit Majorkill, I bought the files before you did. So instead of paying $50 for a clean Big E model, I spent 30 hours printing it, having multiple failures, cleaning it up and burning through $50 worth of resin to get my final result." I shit you not, there was legitimately a Twitter thread like that and I wish I could find it. But now with the Big E V2 being released next Monday, the last vestiges of those salty STL supremacists are being washed away. But what's actually new? What have I done to make the world's most awesome model even more awesome? Well, both shoulder pads were changed. The faceplate turned into a skull to represent the Emperor in the 40th millennium, whilst the eagle and shield has turned into George and the Dragon with a griffin. It's like a mini diorama on the model, and yes, it's still paintable despite its size. This Big E V2 painted by Gardos is the tabletop scale Big E, and you can still clearly see the George and the Dragon detail. We also changed the statue on top of the Big E's cape from a basic eagle to a roaring 2-headed monster perched atop Prometheus, a nod to the Emperor's own story reflecting that of the ancient Greek myth. The knee pads were both changed to skulls for a similar reason to the shoulder pad, and we even changed the sword's hilt to be a double eagle. On top of that, we did numerous quality of life changes based on Big E V1 feedback. The head is bigger to better suit tabletop proportions, the pieces fit together better, delicate pieces have been thickened up, and so on. However, the most epic of all changes are the 3 new head variants. Big E V1 was 2 head variants, open mouth and closed mouth Big E. Now we have 3 helmet variants for those of you who hate painting faces. Firstly, a Custodes inspired helmet, then a lion and faceplate Romanesque Emperor helmet, and then a skull helmet, all of which represent a different aspect of the Big E. I would highly suggest magnetizing the head so you can rotate between your variants. Now I did see some Big E V1 purchasers being a little bit annoyed that this supposedly exclusive model has returned, but guys, the more people who have epic models the better. But I hear you and I understand, and I wanted to thank all those that bought V1 all those years ago, as that allowed Major Minis to go from a backyard operation to a fully fledged company. So all Big E V1 purchasers will get pre-access to the Big E V2 as well as a 20% discount. Pre-access starting this coming Monday. Pre-access slaps because there will be 3 limited editions of the Big E V2, a pre-painted version that comes to your doorstep assembled, painted, and with the head variant of your choice. Then there is the 1/12 scale version. Then there is the fucking Goliath 1/6 scale. There will only be limited amounts of the pre-painted 1/6 and 1/12, so if you want to guarantee a chance of you getting those, you need to have bought the Big E V1 or be a member of Dice Dioramas. The other scales include the best-selling tabletop scale, which is a Big E designed to be proportionate to the tabletop and the lore, towering over most units but designed to be put with an army and even played. You know, if you want to have custom rules and are having a 100,000 point apocalypse game. Then there is also the art scale, a notably larger but still miniature Big E, where the details are significantly more visible and easy to paint. This scale is designed for those that just like painting and aren't interested in the tabletop. It's the kind of scale you would submit to a painting competition. Another big difference between Big E V1 and V2 is our resin. I spent months formulating a new and insanely good resin, exclusively for Major Minis. The lighter color is our 8K resolution premium resin, and the dark gray is our 12K resolution ultra resin, twice as expensive to produce but significantly more durable than normal resin and is generally just better to work with. Both resins are way above most market resins and the end result will look more or less the same when painted, but for the tabletop scale and the art scale, you can pick which resin you want to use. Pre-painted 1/12 and 1/6 automatically come with the ultra resin. So here's the even cooler part. To celebrate the launch of Big E V2, Major Minis and Dice Dioramas collaborated to turn the triumph of the Unification Wars that took place on Mount Ararat, also known as the culling of the Thunder Warriors, into a professionally made miniature diorama featuring a Big E V2. Now you may notice the shoulder plates of Big E V1, and that is because Big E V2 and Big E V1 are almost entirely kit bashable together. Big E V2 even comes with most Big E V1 parts anyway, so if you wanted to make it more close to the source, then you can. The diorama is stunning, featuring Custodians, Valdor, Custom Thunder Warriors, and of course, the Big E. All models pro-painted and magnetized to the diorama so you can take them off, play them in a 40k game, and then put them back onto store and display. If you're planning on getting the Big E V2, it is an absolute no-brainer to be at least a bronze Dice Diorama member. That is because bronze is only $10 per month, and that actually gives you a 10% discount on the Big E launch. However, you can then use your once per month Major Minis bronze discount code, so if you bought even a tabletop scale Big E with the 15% off, you would pretty much save your membership costs in the purchase, effectively making your membership free. If then you bought an art scale or larger, you would actually make a profit on the discount code. Not only that, but then you are entered into the giveaway to actually take home the Mount Ararat diorama. Not only that, but we're doing our first ever double diorama giveaway, as another of the prizes is a Horus vs Emperor Major Mini Kit Bash diorama, an old style take on the duel between father and son. Other prizes include a 1/6 scale Big E, a 1/12 scale Big E, and a pre-painted Big E. Things you could win for just $10. That is just a fucking no-brainer if you ask me. Link to join Dice will be below. So how does this work? How and when can you get your Big E V2, especially if you aren't a Dice member or Big E V1 purchaser? This coming Monday, September 1st, the gates will open. All Dice members and Big E V1 bangers will get an email with access to their respective landing pages. During this week, you can still sign up to Dice for instant access. I expect all limited Big Es to sell out during this week. Then on the 8th of September, so 1 week afterwards, everyone on our mailing list, which you can join for free, will gain access. Then a week after that, so the 15th of September, which is funnily enough my birthday, the public sale will commence and everyone will have access for 2 weeks after that, and then the sale will end and the Big E will once again vanish into myth and legend. The staggered launch gives our most loyal supporters a chance to get in, get their Big Es first, and get the limited versions, as without those people, I wouldn't be even close to where I am today. It also gives us some breathing room to be able to tackle this mighty launch in stages. We were not ready for Big E1, the response was just insane, but we are ready for V2. We have already pre-printed and pre-boxed thousands of Big E V2s, all they need is a good home to go to. As for why it's a limited launch, if we didn't have a cutoff day, we wouldn't be Major Minis, we would be major selling fucking Big E models all the time, and we wouldn't be able to release new models due to being overwhelmed. This model is extremely intricate and challenging to produce. Just ask that retard on Twitter who took 30 hours to finally get a workable print. It's just not sustainable to have it up all the time. But wait, there's more. Alongside the Big E V2 launch, I'm happy to announce the largest ever miniature painting competition, with a total prize pool of $21,500 cash, USD, $500 more than Resin Beast's 2024 painting competition Adepticon, which from what I've gathered was the largest ever prize pool. How it works is all minis ever sold via Major Minis, whether or not they are still available, are valid for entry. On September 1st, the competition will commence, and there will be a form where you can submit your entry and your details. The categories are Best Paint Job, with 2 runners-up, Most Creative Paint Job, Best Diorama featuring at least 1 Major Mini, Best Kit Batch of a Major Mini. Then for the Big E, there is a separate section, allowing for Best Big E Paint Job and 2 runners-up, and the Most Creative Big E Paint Job. Big E V1 and V2 are both eligible for these categories. There are some more T's and C's to make sure some freak of nature doesn't just clean sweep the entire competition, and we got such an incredible response last time we ran this competition. The entries will close 31st of December, so last day of 2025, so everyone has plenty of chance to buy, get their minis shipped to them, and paint them. Major minis you have bought and painted in the past are still valid to be entered. So there you go, Big E V2, a Big E diorama with many other dice prizes, a painting competition. You guys are spoiled. All links will be below. The smartest thing you can do right now is sign up to Diced, even just getting the bronze membership tier to get the discounts and entries into the Mount Ararat diorama alongside pre-access to discounted Big Es, among thousands more in prizes. You guys are legends and I couldn't do it without you. Peace.